this part of the video, I want to talk with you about setting deadlines and how stress can actually help you. Now, of course, we already talked about stress, and we said that stress can be a positive thing. And I really believe in that. I think that stress is sometimes being seen as something that can only destroy, that is a bad thing for you all the time, but no, it definitely is not. Sometimes stress is necessary. Of course, we can always say, oh, I don't want to be stressed, I don't want to work that much. Of course we can. But the problem with that is just simply that most of the time, if we do not work an amount that perhaps is a little painful, we will not become successful. And that is something that perhaps has been taught over and over and over again in this course, but I really just want to urge this point and motivate you to do more and to get more things done. Now, in this video, I want to talk with you about deadlines and why they are so important. Now, the one thing that you want to make sure is that you have very, very tight deadlines. So for example, currently we are creating, my company together with other people, we are creating online video courses, and we say, okay, we could do an online video course in 2 weeks, or we could say, okay, let's do it in 5 days. So of course it puts a lot of stress on us, but then we have something done after 5 days, and we really will get it done. So afterwards we can say again, okay, let's take a day off or something like that and do another session that takes us like 5 days to do and create more courses. All of this is possible. It puts a little bit of stress on us, and sometimes even it is a lot of stress, but it can really help us, and it does help us already for years now. We just simply, want to create more, build more, and for that, this is an amazing method. So having tight deadlines is a good thing, and I just want to encourage you to really have deadlines and stick to them all the time. Now, this video is basically all about deadlines and why they should be kept tight. So the first thing, of course, that we have to think about is just simply, how can we make deadlines? Well, the first thing is, the one thing that we can do is just simply write them down. And writing down, of course, is a good thing, but what happens if you do not stick to your deadlines? Of course, then you will say, okay, I'll just do it tomorrow. Nah, I will do it the day after tomorrow. I will get it done this week. And then perhaps it will become like, I will get it done this month, and you just wasted a lot of time, and you could have used that time in order to get things done and, for example, earn more money, get more freedom, and just simply have a better life. So my advice just simply to you, first of all, is make sure that you stick to your deadlines. If there's one thing that I believe is super important in life, it's then to just simply stick to the deadlines that you imposed on yourself. Now, if you not stick to your deadlines, I want to give you 4 different ways how you can cope with that. So the first of these ways is basically a punishment. And we talked about that already a couple of times here in this course. But I want to urge this point again. If you fear a punishment, you're going to work much harder. So when you say, for example, okay, my next deadline is to finish this video course in the next 5 days, so next Sunday. And it is Sunday and you cannot finish it, or you think you cannot finish it, but you have a punishment coming up the next day if you do not finish the course, then of course you're going to give your best to really get that course done. The same thing applies to any kind of work that you have. Now, a punishment could, for example, be that you're not allowed to eat any candy anymore. For me, for example, that would be very, very difficult. So this would really hurt me. Or, for example, you could say to your girlfriend or to your boyfriend, I will not get a kiss anymore. And you'll probably think, all right, this is something that I don't want to have. I would like to have a kiss for my boyfriend or for my girlfriend. So this would be now my punishment. So if I do not get the deadlines or the project done on the deadline, I'm gonna not get a kiss for a week or something like that. So this is really gonna hurt you. And then the next thing that I believe is very important that we have to keep in mind is that we have to clarify our goal for ourselves all the time. So I really want to urge this point here again, that for example, when you say, I want to make $1 million, then of course, how are you gonna make it? How much money do you have to make every single month in order to end up at $1 million, let's say, in 5 years? Well, and if you stick to these goals that you have and you get the deadlines done, for example, for the kind of sub-goals that you have in order to reach a certain milestone, and you stick to them, you're going to be much more likely to actually, achieve the goals that you had in mind in the first place. So a big goal is consisting of many, many small goals. And these goals, these many kind of small goals, sub-goals, or however we want to call them, or short-term goals, they consist of many little steps. So if you take all of these steps and you reach your short-term goals, you probably also will receive and achieve that long-term goal. Then number 3, letting other people give you things for achieving sub-goals. And I think we all know that when there is when we are in school, like let's say we are primary school or even high school, many parents actually gave their kids some money when they brought home some good grades, whether it's grade A or here in Germany it would be grade 1, then you would receive, let's say, $10 for every class exam that you write in a 1 in or an A, you would get $10. Now, my parents never did do that because they thought I really have to care for myself and I have to, build up my own life, my own career, and so on. So their advice was just simply to me, do the things that you want to do, but always be good at them. So if your parents say, okay, I will give you $10 for grade A or for grade 1, then definitely this might be a good thing for you, especially for kids who perhaps just do not want to get things done and just need some kind of motivation in order to get them done. So this could actually be a big help for you. And if you're now a parent and you're watching this, this might actually be something that could be, applying to your kids and could make your kids in the long term successful, even though I think they should be motivated to do it, just for themselves without any help from somewhere else. Now, number 4, build a group that distributes money depending on things achieved by members. So let's say when you start off with the group and everyone puts in some money, like let's say $100 every, let's say 3 months or something like that, and the person who makes the most money, let's say this is a business group, that makes the most money will get all of the money in the group that you paid into the group. So let's say you have 10 people in that group and everyone pays $100 every 3 months. Then you have $1,000 that are basically like the prize that you can win. And now you're building businesses. And person 1 to 10 makes money. Person 10 makes, let's say, $200 in these 3 months, and number 1 makes $100,000. Well, then the person that makes the most money will actually also get the prize. So that is kind of a motivation for that person or for everyone to do better. So the winner takes it all is basically here my advice to you that you could do. You could also say, for example, okay, we all start and we put photos of ourselves, of our body in that group. Let's say it's a WhatsApp group or something like that. And we will measure the body fat percentage. And the person who gets it down the most percentage-wise will actually get the money that is in the group. So for example, when you all start off with 10%, or some person starts off with 20, the other person with 15, then one with 10, one with, let's say, 7 or something like that, and the person who brought down from 7 to 5 has brought down by 2%, the person from 20 to 10 has brought down by 10%, and the one from 15 brought down to 10, and the one from 10 brought it down to 7. Now the person who brought down the most is the person who started with 20% and brought down to 10%. So he brought down by an entire 10%. That's why he should be the one that receives the money. Of course, this is like an example, but this is how you could manage such groups. So that is like one way how you can really achieve your goals and make the things possible that you thought were not possible before. So my advice just simply to you, get a punishment, clarify your own goals for yourself all the time, then do the things that you want to do in the sense that you let other people give you some money for the things that you do. And then number 4, also build a group that distributes money depending on things achieved by the members.